We just heard from the sheriff, and he had a big contradiction compared to what we heard earlier this afternoon from Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman. Now, the sheriff said, based on the dash cam video he saw, that it appeared that a Precinct 4 deputy saw a vehicle that he was following get into a crash, and that deputy failed to stop and offer help. Now, again, this is very different and not what we heard this afternoon from Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman. He told us the deputy saw the girl's car driving by at a high rate of speed and attempted to chase that vehicle but lost them and didn't realize that the girls had crashed. Constable Herman also said the deputy said he proceeded to look for the car but never found it. In fact, Herman said to me, quote, he did not leave the scene because there was no scene to leave. He referring to the deputy. But listen to what Sheriff Gonzalez said during a news conference about the case just a few minutes ago.
From everything we've heard to date, it seemed that the deputy constable was aware of what had occurred. It appears that there was a pursuit that had begun. It was for very short distance. There is dash cam video as well to corroborate this.
And listen to what the sheriff says. He says he saw in that dash cam video.
And at some point, there's an accident that obviously occurs to a concrete culvert to the right. Deputy approaches the scene, at some point turns off the emergency equipment, and then proceeds past the accident scene without stopping to take any action.
Now, after that news conference, we immediately called Constable Mark Herman to get his reaction, and he said, quote, the sheriff is the primary investigating agency, and they must have learned something that we're not aware of. Meanwhile, we also reached out to the Harris County DA, and they said that a grand jury will be investigating this to determine whether or not any criminal charges will be followed. We'll be watching and waiting to see what happens.